Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope that one will be fine, and welcome back to the part number 4. So in this video I'm going to explain to you that how we can display the table data from the database and display it on table. And now you see in our database we have 4 records, and also it's stored on our directory with the storage folder inside public, and we have some 4 images. Now we have to do is to create here the table down underneath that, and we have to display the data. So let's go and jump inside the code, and let's go inside your view. So I need to go inside my resources, views, and index.blade.php. And I need to display the data using jQuery because I don't need to refresh my page once I add something new. So for that, just after the form ending tag within the container, I need to just create here a table. First we have to create here h3, and let's give it the class of bootstrap text-center, and I need to give some p-3 for the padding, and let's give it the bg-star for background dark and text-white, and let's give it the text-white, and I also need to give the margin of mt-4, and there we go. Now let's give it the post listing. So post listing, and this should be the heading, and after that I need to create here a div. Let's give it a class of post list record, post record, right? Alright, so I give this class, and later on I'm going to add this class inside the jQuery. Now, there are 2 ways. I can either create here a table right here, and I can start creating my TRs, TDs. But the problem that we have is that I don't want to do it, because once I want to save the post, and I don't need my table to be refreshed. So for that, I need to create here a function, and that function will be called, and we will load the response on once the data is saved. So what I actually mean is, if I go to the public assets JavaScript, and inside the custom.js file, we have to create here a function inside the JS, and that function will be called once we add a new post, right? So let's start that. So we don't need to refresh the page once we get or add any post. So for that, I need to do that manually. So let's do it. So let's create here a function with the name of get post images, and inside that function I need to pass here the Ajax request, and that Ajax request should have the type of the request, which is get request, and down underneath that we have to pass the URL. Let's give it the URL of get_post, which we haven't created, so we will create that for sure. So after that let's create here a success function, and inside here add the response, and after that we need to pass here the response, which we will have to get from the controller. We have to parse it. So json.parse. So we need to encode a function and inside the controller. So let's first create the route for the get_post. So I go to the web.php, and web.php, you need to press Control P and just simply type web.php if you're using Visual Studio Code. Otherwise you have to go manually, right? So inside here I need to create the route for it. So route_get request, because we are getting the data. So get_post, and let's pass add the controller name. So in my case the controller name is post controller, and get_post is the name of my function. So let's go inside the controller, and we have to create here a method. Alright, so for the method I need to encode it. So what actually I mean is, so let's create here a function, public function get_post, and we are using Eloquent to get all the posts. So I'm using here post all. So post all, and we have to encode it. So let's use here echo JSON_encode, and we have to pass here the post. All right. So once we are done with that, now let's go back to the once it's done, I need to go to my custom.js file, and let's append the data. Now we have created here a div inside the index.blade.php, so I need to copy that, and we need to append the record so we can display it here inside the page. So for that I need to append using jQuery. So there is a function. So now this response is, let's console the log and check this out. So I gave it the console response, and I need to call that function as well. So let's call up right after the I need to go inside my ready function. Let's call up here, and we have to test this out, right? So if I open up my browse console, and if I refresh it here, and you see now we have the 4 records, right? So the ID of we have the image name and the ID and the updated ID, right? So we are good to go. Now we have encoded, and with the help of parse, we convert that into the object, and JSON parse, and we parse the object. And now we need to do is, let's go down here, and we have to append, right? So we have to use here jQuery. So let's, with the help of dot, we have to add the class name that we have added, so post record. So let's add up here, and by default it should be empty. And now next, after that, we have to append the table. So let's do it. So dot append, and we have to create inside the append, we need to create here the table. So let's create a table. So I'm going to create here table, and the closing tag for the table. Let's give it the class for the bootstrap. So class equal to table dash hover, which is basically a bootstrap class to hover. And next I need to give it some responsive. So dd dash responsive, and next I can use here no wrap, and is a class for the bootstrap, and that's fine. Let's give it the ID of example, and right after the ID we have to give it the style of width 100%. I believe there is a class for the 100%, so you can either use that too, right? So I give it the style equal to width of 100%. So now within the table, let's do the next step. Is if I create here the table heads, I don't think so this is gonna work here, right? Yeah, so it is now working inside the codes. So table heading, and inside the heads we have to use TRs, and let's use that /tr. And now we have to create here the th first, the table heading. So let's copy that and paste it 3 times here, and let's create the first one for the ID, the next one is the post image, and the third one is for the action. All right, so after the table heading we have to create here the table body. So let's create that, and yeah, now you notice that normally we have to add the table body, and we add here the table data. Like first we have to create here table records, and now next we have to create here the table data that you can let's want to show you. So I need to copy that and paste it 3 more times, because we have 3 headings, so 3 data. So what actually I mean is, if I refresh that, and you see we have the table here, but I need to do a little bit changes. Now I need to show dynamic results. So for that we have to use here for each. So there is a trick. So I just need to remove that all. We have to dynamically access the data inside using jQuery. So let's do here is after the table body ending, we have to create here a response, and this response, we get the response from here, and with the help of loop we have to loop the data, and we pass here the index of element. You can either use index or whatever the name you want to give. So element, and we have to pass the data. So let's use here dollar, and I need to give here the post list. Let's give it the class of post list, and I need to define that class inside my table. So let's use here inside your table. So I give it the class, and with the help of this class I will be able to loop the data within the table. So I use this class, and inside the class I have to use here table body, and you know inside table body we have tr, so we need to append that. So I need to use append function here, and inside append function let's create here trs, and inside those trs I need to bring here the record data. So tds tds, and inside here, with the help of ES5 standards, we can loop the data. So simple as that. So element dot id for the id, and now I need to extract the other data. So let's bring here the td and the closing. Right, that's fine. So now I just need to change that to basically I need to show here the image tag first. So let's give it the image source. The reason why I'm giving image source, because I need to display the image. So let's use here image source equal to, now we have the directory storage slash, inside storage we have a folder with the name of post slash and the name of the object, which is the image. So element dot image, and let's give it the class of, I need to give it the class of showcase dash image. So let's pass here that too. So showcase dash image is the name of the class. Actually, I need to put that inside the double quotes, right? And that's fine. And the next thing that I need here is to create the delete and the added button. So within that, let's create here the button, and I need to give it the class of this should be double S. So bdn dash danger, and bdn dash sm for small. It's the class for the danger, so I give it the red color. So danger, and the next thing that I need here is for the added. So bdn dash default or primary, whatever you class that you need to give. So I'm happy with the primary, and I just give it the added. All right. So we need to pass here href and make that to be empty. So hash, actually it should be hash, and same case for the down button. So href equal to hash. All right. Now I need to refresh this, and there we go. You could see now the data is actually looping, but you see the post image is not getting the right path. And for that I need to put here, actually I forget to put here slash, so we don't need here dot, and I hope now it's worked. Oops, so images looks very large in size, so I need to do some sort of styling here for the showcase dash image, which I just passed. So let's go and do some changes inside my style.css. So let's go inside your style.css. We already passed here the class and showcase dash image. So let's create here and showcase dash image, and let's do here is the let's give it the width of 40 pixel, and I need to give here the height of 40 pixel as well. And now I need to background dash repeat. I don't need any repeat, so let's give it the no repeat, and background dash size cover, and background dash position. So background position to be center, and I need some margin as well. So margin from the right, let's give it 10 pixel, and the border radius to make it rounded, so 50%. So it should be 50%, right? Saves it, and let's go back and refresh this. So this looks very, very nice now, right? So now you could see we can also display the post using jQuery. Right now the question is that, yeah, we are good with that. Now if I just try to save my new image and click on the save post, yeah, the data is actually saved. Let's have a look, but we still have to refresh the page in order to test this out. Now for that reason we have to call this function inside our once we get the response. So let's do it here, and despite of having the where's the function actually, so we have the function with the name of get post images. We need to call this function inside once we are saving the data. So let's go inside your form data where we are basically saving the data. So right underneath that I need to pass here the call the function. So if I just go and refresh this, now let's test this out. Now if I refresh this, And now if I go and add another record and click on the save post, and you see now we don't have to, now we have the record 6 and we don't need to refresh the page. So let's do it one more time. I click on the save post and there we go, right? So we are now, we can easily fetch the data. We don't need to refresh the page, and that's it, right? So I hope you guys love that. So in the next video, I'm going to explain you that how we can add it using Laravel, and we can update using Ajax. And I hope you guys love this part, and I want to see you in the next part.